today we're going to be discussing functions. So today I'm going to be discussing functions which are related to competitive exams. So I'm going to start out with very basic functions and we're going to start out with domain. We'll discuss range in some other video, but today we're going to be discussing about domain. Okay, so let's start. Now before we start, I just wanted to say that in some questions we'll do both the domain and the range, but mainly the main focus today is just on domain. Okay, so but we're going to start from like questions which are a little simple, and then we'll go on to ones which are more difficult. So it's going to go from easy to hard. Okay, so all these questions that I'm doing are going to be related to JEE mains and advanced, and it will also help people who are preparing for NEET. Okay, so I'm going to begin now. Okay, let's so this is the first question. Okay, it's a very simple question. You guys can do it in like 2 minutes. X squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, so I want you to find the domain of this. So like I said, we're going to start from simple and then we're going to go to more difficult ones. So it's going to go from easy to difficult. Okay, and then in another video we'll do the range. So find the domain of this. It's very simple. I'm sure most of you can do it. It's very simple. I'm starting out with very simple ones because I know many people, can't, nowadays you see, although many people are able to afford coaching, not many, there are many who cannot afford tuitions and coaching. So that is why I'm starting from, the beginning. So, okay, let's begin. Okay. So, okay, let me just write it down and then I'll tell you. Okay, so as you know that because this is an under root, so whenever we have an under root, we always inequate the expression to greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now remember, the reason why we take greater than or equal to 0 is because whenever there is an under root, you have to take, is because whenever there is an under root, or in this case a square root, you can never, a square root or an under root can never ever take negative values. That is why you have to do it like this. So now it's pretty simple, It's just simple factoring. Okay? So and then this is what you get. Minus 3 equal to 0. Okay? Okay, this is what you do. So now let me just tell you how I got this. So for those of you who are still struggling, how to factorize, don't worry. I'll just tell you how it's done. So basically when you factorize any expression or any trinomial that you factorize, you first use the AC method and then you split the term. So basically you split the term by using the AC method. So how is that done? So here guys, this is A and this is C, as you know. So A is 1, C is 3. So that is why 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. So here you will have 3. Okay, and B is 4. Okay, so what I need is I need two values which when multiplied give me 3 and when added that give me 4. So basically what are they? 3 times 1, okay, and 3 plus 1, okay, 3 times 1 and 3 plus 1, okay, and because this is negative here, so we have to take it like this, and then obviously the bases have to be the same, otherwise your factoring is gonna go wrong. Okay, so now it's pretty simple now. So guys, now this is what it equals, guys. Okay, so this is what it equals. So now can you tell me what the domain of this would be? What would the domain of this be, guys? Just I know that it's a very simple question and I'm asking as if it's very hard. But like I said, we're going to go from simple to more difficult. So I'll just tell you what it is. It's not that hard. So don't be surprised if you have found the domain to this. It's a very simple question. I'm just doing this question because, okay, wait. Oh God. When you get very complacent, you're like, oh my God, what are you doing? And that's exactly what I did. So this is the domain of this. So you see guys, I got complacent. So now what I want to tell you guys is that in the other questions that I do, if you see any mistakes which I'm not able to notice, like I probably wouldn't have noticed that mistake, but fortunately I did. So if you see any sort of mistakes, whether they're basic mistakes, whichever mistakes they are, please tell me in the comments below. Okay? Please tell me in the comments below. Okay. So now we are going to move to our next question. I'll tell you what the next question is, guys. Find the domain of this question right here. X squared minus 2x plus 2. Let me just check. No guys, wait. It is, yeah, minus 2x minus 2. Okay. This is the next question. Okay. Okay. So I just want you to take this down. So okay. So next time, I just want you to understand that whenever I'm looking at another question, I want you to take everything down. Okay. I'm not going to mention it again. Okay. So you can start solving that question. Okay. And I'm also going to start solving it. Okay? I will also start solving it. So let me just rewrite it. It's important guys to rewrite things. Anyways, so okay. Yes, this is the question. Oh, great. No, guys, sorry. It's the wrong question. It's the wrong question. In haste, I did the wrong thing. So I apologize for that. Okay, so this is the question now. By mistake, I gave you the wrong question. My apologies, I'm sorry for that. It happens. I gave you the wrong question. Okay, so now let's solve this fast now. Okay, so in the previous question, what did we do in the previous question? In the previous question, we took greater than or equal to 0. But this time we have an under root again, but this under root is in the denominator. So whenever there's an under root in the denominator, we always take greater than 0. We always inequate to greater than 0. Okay? So like this. Okay, like this. So now what do? So now again we factorize as usual. Okay? Okay, so what does this become? Okay, what does this become, guys? Okay, so now this is what this becomes. Okay, let me just check. Guys, I'm just checking because whenever I go too fast, I make so many silly mistakes, even if I know what the answer is. Okay, so again, I'll just teach you how it's done. Okay, so like I said, you have 2 and 1. So 2 times 1 is what? 2, right? So here you have 2 times 1, okay, which gives you 2. But now there's a problem. Here we have x, isn't it? We have x. So whenever you have x, you will always do this. Negative 2 plus 1. Like I split the term here. Negative 2x plus x. Okay? That's how you do it. Okay? And now what do we get? What do we get, guys? Oh God. 1 second. I'm just smudging the board, huh? Anyways. Oh god. Okay. So this will become greater than 2. Okay. And this over here will become this. -1. Okay. Just ignore this here. I hope you're able to see this. Yeah. I hope you're able to see this though. Okay. So what will the domain of this be, guys? What will be the domain of this? Okay, so let's just do the domain of this now, guys. Okay, so this is the domain. Okay, this is also fairly easy. Okay, fairly easy, not that challenging. But don't worry, slowly they're going to get even harder. So okay, so now this next question is gonna be a little harder. So just get ready. Okay. It's going to be slightly harder than the rest of the questions we've done. Okay? Okay, so let's. Oh, God. Now, guys, I know I might be going a little slowly, but what to do? It takes time. If you really want to solve questions step by step, it will take some time. And then guys, I also take time to write the question. If I write the wrong question, it will change the entire answer. Okay, so here we have a minus. As you can see, guys, today I am mixing up the plus and minus. Okay, it happens. So now this is the question. Okay. Excuse me. So now this is the question. So now we need to solve it. Okay. So how do we solve this question? Okay, it's not as hard as people think it is. Okay, so let's go. So guys, the first thing that you do here is you take this down, okay? Okay? This is what you do. So now I'm sure you know what you have to do. Okay, this is what you do. Okay. Let's just do it this way. Sometimes I overdo everything. Okay, so now what do we do with this? I want you guys to really think. What do we do with this now, guys? What do we do with this? I want you guys just to think about it. Okay, so guys, again here is the same thing, guys. X greater than 2. Okay, now guys, I apologize that today I'm writing some questions wrong because I keep on writing the wrong sign, kabhi plus, kabhi minus. But I want to get these questions done fast. That's why those mix-ups are happening. But you guys don't need to worry. Okay. Let's just check कोई silly mistake तो नहीं है. Okay. So what would be the domain of this question? इसका domain क्या होगा? अब सोचिए guys. सोचिए guys, इसका domain क्या होगा? Just think guys. What will be the domain of this? सोचिए guys, this is the tricky part for you guys. सोचिए क्या domain होगा? Give you 10 more seconds. Okay, so let's solve the mystery then, huh? So this is what it is. Oh God, that's a bad 3. एट 3 किसी को समझ में भी नहीं आएगा, 3 दिखा है क्या? Yeah. So yes, so this is the domain of this question. Okay, so now guys the questions are going to get a little harder. So थोड़ा सा अपने दिमाग को जोर डालो and start using your brain. Okay, and start using your brain a little faster. Okay. Okay. So guys, so now this next question that I'm about to do, guys, this is one question which is very popular in G mains. In G advanced, you would be asked to find the range of such a question. Okay, but in G mains इसका आपको सिर्फ डोमेन निकालना है. आपने देखा होगा लॉग के बारे में कितने डोमेन के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. हर साल आते ही होंगे. So when you see the question, you'll know. So it's a very popular question, guys. Okay, log 10 3 minus x upon x. Now don't worry, this question is not wrong. वहाँ प्लस नहीं था, माइनस ही था. So okay, so how would you solve this question? How would you find the domain of this? Whenever you have to find a domain or range question, in G mains, तो logarithms में हमेशा सवाल आता है ना? डोमेन और रेंज से रिलेटेड लॉग के क्वेश्चंस बहुत आते हैं G mains में. So keep in mind, this is one of them. Okay? So okay, how do we do this? Okay, let's start. I'm not going to waste any more time. So this is the first step. Okay guys, this is the first step that you take. Okay, it's the first step. This is the first step